Okay, guys, some pretty exciting stuff. Whew. All right. We're going a little YouTube crazy today. I don't really have any YouTube records to talk about in depth. On VHS, we're going to do Pop Mart. I've done this one before. I have an original copy of U2's Pop. It was sealed, and I opened it. I had to. I had to listen to it. Did I show this upside down? Pop Mart. So let's put this in. I have a little U2 sidebar to start. Just a little one. You can see I've got the U2 shirt. Gentleman named Peter came into Josh's shop with a whole crap ton of t-shirts. They were all band tees. They were mostly modern and not the best quality, so a lot of that cheap fast fashion kind of stuff that's been going around. But this one is an original 2005 Vertigo tour shirt. I have another variant of it. It's white. And yeah, my wife is a U2 fanatic, and I have absorbed the U2 love through my wife. Now, I liked U2 before my wife and I met. I didn't seek them out a ton to listen to them on my own because I was listening to pop punk and ska punk and punk ska and pop ska and all that kind of stuff in the 90s. But through the 2000s, after I met my wife, listened to a lot of U2. Of course, I like it. I've seen them live numerous times. So then when on eBay, my saved search alert popped up for this record, I was very excited. Why? One of the first estate sales I went to had a bunch of records, and I didn't have a record player, and I was still very much focused on minimalism and digital stuff and not owning physical media. And when I saw the records were priced anywhere between, I don't know, $10 and up, I was like, that's expensive for a record. I don't even have a record player. Well, folks, in there was a copy of U2's Zooropa, the UK version, original press. I texted it to my brother-in-law, and for whatever reason, I didn't grab it. It was $10 for a $120+ record. There were a bunch of good records in there that I would kill to find now. Led Zeppelin, some 90s stuff, and I'm an idiot and didn't get any of them. I was focused on cameras, and records were going to be an expense. I didn't want to incur, blah, blah, blah. So I created a safe search on eBay, and when a copy of Zooropa popped up that was south of maybe $90, I was going to buy it. And sure enough, a copy popped up for $80, $80 for this copy of Zooropa in VG Plus condition. So I snagged it. This was from, we'll give a shout out to Vinyl King out of Lake Hopatcong, New Jersey. So Vinyl King, thanks for selling this to me on eBay. I greatly appreciate it. If you guys want to follow their store on eBay, you should definitely look them up. This is a 1993 original copy, European press, $80. So I probably paid like $87, $88 with shipping and all that, but I have been listening to this a ton, probably my favorite U2 record, and I'm very excited about that, and the band shirt, and all the U2 stuff, Pop Mart in the background. Okay, this is a big one, folks. What do we got here? So first up, I saw that Kanesville Collectibles posted a photo that they just bought a collection of 1,000 records, soul, funk, R&B. Now that is not my main focus as far as music goes, collecting, but I knew that in that world of soul, funk, and R&B, there can be some very valuable records. So I wanted to go down and have a shot at grabbing them. And I got some really good stuff. So I want to go through it all with you guys and show you what I got. Now, there is one heartbreaking aspect to these records. The vinyl, it's all in incredible condition. The jackets, most of them are in really good condition. Many of them still in the original shrink wrap. But for some reason, this collector used packaging tape to tape the edges of all the records and taped into the inside of the jacket. And removing this tape, even with a like a hair dryer, is probably going to damage the plastic shrink and leave residue behind that would then need to be like goo-goned and cleaned up. I'm not going to spend the time doing that. It's way too much work. But some of these records, on a few of them, like the entire front cover got packaging tape on them. I don't know if any of the ones I bought were like that, but you guys, I have some amazing records in here, still in the shrink, and they got taped up along the edges. But let's get started. This is a two-parter, not two videos, but a two-parter. The full-length records I got at Kanesville Collectibles, and then an interesting discovery I made at a thrift store in Bellevue. Now, the owner of Kanesville Collectibles lives in Bellevue. I believe this collection was bought in Bellevue, and this Bellevue thrift store acquired something that's connected to this collection. So let's get into it. Ray Charles, Spirit of Christmas. I mean, I have this record. I paid $35 for it at Grapefruit Records, worth every penny. One of my favorite Christmas records of all time. Folks, this copy is near mint and beautiful. So I'm going to double check the condition of mine. But this one, I mean, come on. Upstairs, downstairs copy. Let's go. And then we've got Bob Marley and the Wailers, Catch a Fire, in the shrink, but taped up, of course. Original inner sleeve on the Island Records. And folks, this gentleman put his name on every label with an embosser labeler, and he put a number on there that corresponded to however he cataloged his records. So you can see all those tears. Before this collection was sold, all of the labels were torn off, tearing the label in the center. The vinyl is near mint. It's a beautiful copy of Bob Marley and the Wailers, but the tape and the tearing. This one had a label on it, and he tore it, and it tore the jacket. No. Folks, I don't even know how to say this. Funkin' Telechi versus the Placebo Syndrome Parliament. In the shrink with the hype stickers, the price sticker, and then this tear from the label getting tore off. No. Original inner sleeve. Casablanca. VG Plus copy. No poster. No 8-page comic book. That was a bit disappointing. Paid $15 for this one. Same thing for the Bob Marley and the Wailers. $15 for those. Parliament, the clones of Dr. Funkenstein in the shrink. Taped all around the edges. $4.50 when this was new. Original inner sleeve, Casablanca, VG Plus. Beautiful copy. And then this one, even a worse tape job. This one's so old, the tape is like, has these fibers coming off, but we've got Parliament Mothership Connection with this old fiberglassy tape all yellowed and decayed, still in the shrink. The label got ripped off. Oh, no. Original inner sleeve, Casablanca. Again, label tears on the label, but whatever. How often do you see VG Plus Parliament records? I mean, I'm almost never. And then we've got a run on Prince records. I've never seen this one out, even at Homer's in the bins. And then this crazy tape on here. Now this one, the edges aren't taped, but just the edge where the jacket opens is. Prince, Sign of the Times. Awesome gatefold copy, double LP. Is it a gatefold? I don't think it is. Just a double LP. I mean, jackets are beautiful. Vinyl. Oh my God, you guys. It is like mint condition. Unbelievable. Paid $15 for this. I do love me some Prince. Oh, man. Why did he tape them with this packaging tape? You see that? All that packaging tape? It's heartbreaking. This one, too. Never see this Prince record, ever. Prince, For You. What year is this? Doesn't even say. I think it's the late 70s, mid 70s. This is early Prince. It's all taped up around the edges. Can you believe that? Still in the shrink. Original inner sleeve. Warner Brothers. Near mint condition. The vinyl is immaculate. Just immaculate. I think I paid $10 for that one. No, so this person's name, Rick Lowry, this one didn't get removed, but we've got this Prince. I just picked this up on 8-track and took it to Homer's. Mark there kept it for his private collection, bought it and kept it for his private collection. Original inner sleeve, Warner Brothers. Fiji Plus, near mint minus, just a phenomenal copy of this record. And then we've got more Prince coming, folks. We've got Prince Dirty Mind. Paid $10 for this one. In the shrink. Record is beautiful. Just flawless. But the tape, it just hurts the value. Now, if it just tape the edges with the shrink, I could see taking the shrink off, even though that's going to affect value if we remove the shrink. But the tape is on the inside lip. If you try to remove that tape, it's going to tear it. And if you try to use heat to take it off, it's going to leave residue behind that's sticky. Oh, and then these gatefold ones. Oh, no. So there's the shrink was left on the front and the back, but then taken off the inside. Obviously, it wasn't on the inside. It was cut. But then the tape rolled over the edge. So the tape is on the inside, right on the cardboard of this. Evolution Parade. Beautiful copy. Original inner sleeve. I mean, near mint. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful copy. That's it for the Prince. And then we're going to old Michael Jackson. Nice copy of Bad, all taped up on the edges. $7.25, brand new. And this one has some humidity damage to it. Original inner sleeve, near mint. I mean, beautiful, beautiful vinyl on this. Such a bummer that it's taped. Ugh. Bob Marley and the Wailers in shrink. Rastaman Vibration. He tore his name off on this one, so it's torn on the front. This is a gatefold copy, again, taped over the edge. All taped up. But you know what? This guy loved the music. Wasn't worried as much about the condition of the record. I mean, he was worried. I think with it going in and out, you know, the tape is meant to keep it from, it's meant to protect it, but it really damages the value of it. I know I keep talking about it, but Island Records, VG Plus, needs a little cleaning. Really nice copy. Bob Marley and the Wailers, Kaya, all taped up. Just tear here from the label getting ripped off. Original inner sleeve, pretty hefty inner sleeve on this one. And vinyl, near mint, beautiful. Island Records, nice copy. And you can see where there was some splitting that would happen. Or maybe this was to help prevent splitting, but there's tape even on the edges. And that could be from the factory, I don't know. But whatever. Such a bummer. Like, sorry, I kind of bounced around Bob Marley to Prince, and now we're back to Prince. But we've got 1999. And this one's all taped up, still has the original shrink. Inner sleeves have been taped where they split. Vinyl is, of course, in mint condition. Pristine, beautiful, amazing. Love me some Prince. Good records to have. Beautiful condition on the vinyl. But man, the tape. The tape, no! Okay, so those are all the full-length LPs. And then I went to that Bellevue thrift store, folks, and I apologize. I didn't get any footage of it. My kids were with me. I don't like my kids being in the videos, and they were playing an active part in helping me go through all these records. So what I'm going to do, this is going to make for a long video, but what I'm going to do is this first batch is the stuff that I'm going to keep or take to the shop to sell. Okay. There's a few keepers, but a lot more that I'm going to take to the shop. Then I have a box of records here that are all priced up. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to show the camera. I'm going to use the camera, shoot it to a desk or the floor, and just put each record down, say what the artist is, and then show you the Discogs information that I wrote on the piece of paper for these. So the connection to this collection with Bob Marley and Prince and all that stuff is this gentleman must have donated, or his family donated, all the 45s, maybe thinking they weren't terribly valuable. All of the soul, funk, R&B stuff that I saw at Tim's and those 1,000 records, many of those artists were represented in those records at the thrift store. The thrift store has 45s priced at 65 cents each. I actually asked them if they would do a deal on all of them, and I was hoping to pay like $100, but they wanted 200. So I just went through all of them and cross-checked them on Discogs. It was a lot of work. My kids were troopers. It was close to an hour and a half being there, and got them all figured out. Okay, so some of the keepers. Picture disc of the Dream Academy. I have this record and never seen the 45 of it. Vinyl is mint condition. That one staying in the collection. I'm probably not going to do the Discogs value on these on the screen and all that because it's just a ton of work with all these 45s. I got the wrong sleeve on this, but we've got Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. I love that song. Anything Guns N' Roses, 45 singles, I'll pick up. This one's in like VG Plus condition and super excited to have this one. Van Halen, Panama. I had that as a kid. Good to have that one again. And then this one I had as a kid, I actually tripped over my brother when we were listening to this and I split my head open and had to go to the hospital, get some stitches. But we've got Jump in the Saddle, the Curly Shuffle. That one I do not have, and I'm glad to have it back. And then a lot of these, actually, this is one that my daughter really likes, but the Rubber Band Man by the Spinners, she loves Guardians of the Galaxy, and that one is from that movie. And then this one will probably go to Homer's, but this is Animotion with Obsession and Turnaround. And then this one is The Lynx, Don't Take Her From Me, and I think this has an autograph on it. But the Lynx, for whatever reason, local band, I guess, but they're, fairly valuable on Discogs, so I usually grab them. And then this one will go into Josh's shop, but we've got Parliament with Chocolate City. No picture sleeve, but that one's on Casablanca. And then we have Parliament, Aqua Boogie, and You're a Fish and I'm a Water Sign. That one will go to Josh's shop. Another one for Josh's, I need to get sleeves for these. Madonna, Like a Virgin. B-side is Stay. That's on Sire. And then we've got Rat, The Morning After, and Round on Atlantic. And then we got another Madonna, Pretender, and Material Girl. That'll go to the shop. You got Devo, Girl You Want, and Whip It. That'll go to the shop. And then Quiet Riot, Bang Your Head, and Bang Your Head from Metal Health Live. So a live version and a studio version. Quiet Riot, that's on Phasia or Pasha. Footloose always does well. Picture disc from Target. What year is this? I don't think it says. It'd be cool if it did. Almost Paradise, Mike Reno and Ann Wilson. That'll go to the shop. Stevie Nicks, Leather and Lace. That'll go to the shop. Grease, You're the One That I Want. Picture disc. Not the best shape on the picture disc, but the Grease stuff always sells. And then Start Me Up, Rolling Stones. Should probably keep this one, but I'll take that one to the shop. I usually price these between $3 and $5 each at the shop. Duran Duran, Union of the Snake, and Secret October. That one will go to the shop. And then Cyndi Lauper, I'll Kiss You, and Time After Time. And then Queen, We Are the Champions. Oh, somebody just bought something, and We Will Rock You. And then we got Dolly Parton, I Will Always Love You. And the B-side is Do I Ever Cross Your Mind? Another Queen, We Are the Champions, a different version, and We Will Rock You on the Elektra Asylum. No picture disc. And then Stevie Nicks, Stop Dragging My Heart Around, and Kind of Woman on a picture disc. All right. And so the rest of these records, I will cut to footage of me dropping them on the floor on a desk and going through them all. But you can see there are quite a few. Lots of records are in the $10 to $15 range, and then some, plenty that are in the $4 to $8 range. So I'll show all those and take a look at them. All right, guys, let's go over all the 45s I got. This is going to take a minute. So we've got Carl Carlton. And this is, she's a bad mama jamma. She's built, she's stacked. And then, the Feelings Rated Extra. That one, I didn't look up the discogs on that one because it's probably worth only a few bucks. Me and Mrs. Jones, Don Banks and the Dramatics. And then I Cried All the Way Home. And then we got Time Warp by Eddie Grant, and Electric Avenue. And then some Smokey Robinson, Cruisin', and Ever Had a Dream. And then Funk and Roll, Dancing in the Funk Shine. This one is by Quasar. And then we've got Lattimore, Let's Straighten It Out. You can see the sleeve is pretty rough. That's on the Glades label. Ain't Nobody Gonna Make Me Change My Mind, Lattimore. And then we got Timmy Thomas, We Can't Live Together. That one's on Glades as well. Funky Me. And then Instant Funk. This is I Got My Mind Made Up. And we've got Wide World of Sports. That's on the Salsoul label. And then we got some Chocolate Milk, Girl Calling on RCA with Thinking of You. And then I Got the Love, McFadden and Whitehead on the Sound of Philadelphia, Philadelphia International Records. Ain't No Stopping Us Now, McFadden and Whitehead. And then we got Gladys Knight and the Pips, I'd Love to Feel That Feeling on Buddha. And Baby Don't Change Your Mind. And then on Buddha again, we've got Gladys Knight and the Pips, Everybody's Gotta Find a Way. And it's better than Good Time. Another Gladys Knight and the Pips, the Going Ups and the Comings Down. Make Yours a Happy Home. Every Which Way by Player on RSO. And This Time I'm In It for Love. Isn't that nice? And then more Gladys Knight and the Pips on Columbia, Save the Overtime, and Ain't No Greater Love. And now we're starting to get into some stuff that has some value on it. So we have a 1978 US Johnny Bristol, She's So Amazing, and Waiting on Love. This is a 1/2 13 watt Funk Soul 1978. Median values 536 with none for sale. And then we got a 1979 PRC press of With Pleasure Mass Production. And on the other side, it is Firecracker. So this one's Funk Soul with the disco style, 22/2, 22 watt, medians 5, 4 for sale starting at $231. And then this one, we've got Player, Love Is Where You Find It, 1977 US PRC Richmond, rock, pop, and ballad, 256/2, 134 watt, median is 522, 13 for sale starting at 88 cents. Baby Come Back is on the other side. Then we've got I Do Love You, GQ, and Make My Dreams a Reality. This is a 1979 US Terre Haute Funk Soul with the disco style, 86/2, 72 watt, median is 562, 19 copies for sale starting at $1.60. And then we've got the Staple Singers, Let's Do It Again, and After Sex. This is 1975 US Terre Haute Funk Soul with a soul style. 1196 hab, 203 watt, median's 433, 77 copies starting at 40 cents. And we got Donald Fagen picture disc, Walk Between Raindrops, and IGY, What a Beautiful World, 1982 US Jacksonville, 60 hab, 51 watt, median is 8, 10 copies at $5.99. And then we've got Marvin Gaye, Ego Trippin' Out, and Ego Trippin' Out Instrumental, 1979 US Funk Soul with a soul style, 35 half, 42 watt, median is $5 with 12 for sale starting at $1.49. And then we got A Taste of Honey, Do It Good, and I Love You on Capitol. 1979 US Winchester Funk Soul with a soul disco style, 165 hab, 137 watt, median is 463 with 22 for sale starting at $1.50. And then we've got a 1975 US Santa Maria, Ron Banks and the Dramatics, If I'm Going By the Stars in Your Eyes and Trying to Get Over Losing You. Funk Soul with a soul style, 7 half, 7 watt, 2 for sale starting at $3.59. And then we've got the Eiley Brothers, Between the Sheets, and Between the Sheets Instrumental, 1983 US Pittman, Funk Soul with the soul style, 602 half, 512 watt, median is 683 with 11 for sale starting at $6. And then we've got a 1974 US The Affair from Brother to Brother, and In the Bottle Brother to Brother. This is Funk Soul with the disco style, 949 half, 368 watt, median is $12, 62 for sale starting at 99 cents. And then we got Pockets, Come Go With Me, and Wizard Was It. 1977 US Terre Haute, Funk Soul with a funk disco style, 8 half, 25 watt, median is $5.92, 3 for sale at $4.96, starting price. And then we've got Marvin Gaye, Sexual Healing, and Sexual Healing Instrumental, 1982 US Pittman, Funk Soul with a soul disco style, 1,784 hab, 178 watt, median is 404 with 83 for sale starting at $1.50. All right, now we're going to go into some of the stuff that is even more valuable, but starting with the low price and moving up to the higher price. So we've got Glide by Pleasure, and that's a 1979 US Funk Soul Funk style, 165 half, 169 watt, median is $5 with 11 for sale at starting at $5. So this. And I think the last one, guys, just to tease you along to stick around, is selling for around $100. So $100.45 out of this haul. So we've got a 1973 Canada Clean Slate Tower of Power and So Very Hard to Go. Jazz Funk Soul with the Jazz Funk Soul style, 29 half, 16 watt, median is $5.92 with 4 for sale starting at $1.72. And then we've got a 1969 US Monarch, James Brown, Mother Popcorn, part 1 and 2. It's Funk Soul with a funk style, 134 half, 80 watt, median is $8, 12 for sale starting at $4. And then we've got a 1973 US Scranton Mono, and this is Doing It to Death, James Brown, Fred Wesley, and the JBs. Everybody Got Soul, Fred Wesley and the JBs. It's got James Brown in parentheses on there. 1973 US Scranton Mono Funk Soul with a funk style, 350 half, 145 watt, median is $3.88, 47 for sale starting at $1. And then we've got some more James Brown, The Payback Part 1, The Payback Part 2 on Polydor, 1973 US Richmond Funk Soul with a funk style, 512 half, 293 watt, median is $5.69 with 19 for sale starting at $1.36. And then we've got Blackbirds, The Baby, and Walking in Rhythm. And this one has credited Donald Byrd. I've got a few of his records on Blue Note. 1974 US Funk Soul, the funk style, 437 half, 145 watt, median is 4, 39 copies, starting at $1.50. And then we've got Holy Ghost by the Bar-Kays and Monster. And this is a 1978 U.S. Terre Haute Funk Soul with the funk style, 270 half, 244 want. Median is $6 with 11 for sale at $3.16, or starting at $3.16. And then we got Little Beaver Party Down Part 1 and Little Beaver Party Down Part 2. My 1974 U.S. Stereo Monarch Funk Soul, the Soul Style, 76 half, 74 want. Median is $5.73. 5 copies for sale starting at $5.99. Just a note on condition on all these. These are all, except for just a couple of them, in pretty much near mint condition on these 45s. They are beautiful, with the biggest issue being these tears where they removed an embosser label before they donated these to the thrift store. So that's unfortunate, but all of the vinyl itself is in beautiful condition, except for just a couple of them that are a little rougher. All right, so we've got Benny King, AWB and Benny King, What is Soul? A Star in the Ghetto, AWB and Benny King, 1979 U.S. Specialty, Funk Soul with a funk disco style, 98 half, 65 want. Median is $4.75, 9 for sale starting at $2.38. All right, so this one is Afrique Soul Makossa and Hot Mud. This one is a 1973 U.S. Funk Soul with a soul funk style, 466 half, 162 want. Median is $5.42, 47 for sale starting at $3. And then we're back on Polydor with James Brown, Never, Never, Never Will Forget, and Eyesight. 78 U.S. Pittman Funk Soul with a funk disco style, 103 half, 26 want. Median is $3.95 with 18 at $1.50. Then we've got James Brown, Papa Don't Take No Mess, Part 1, and of course Part 2 on the B-side, 1974 U.S. Shelley pressing, Funk Soul with a funk style, 502 half, 210 want. Median is $5.73 with 27 for sale starting at $2.25. And then this is James Brown, Give That Bass Player Some, and that's Part 2, Part 1 on the A-side, 1981 U.S. Best Way Press, Funk Soul, 92 half, 25 want. Median is $5.95 with 12 for sale starting at $4.52. More James Brown. We've got It's Too Funky in here, and Are We Really Dancing? 1979 U.S. PRC, Funk Soul, Funk Disco Style, 79 half, 48 want. Median $2.99, 15 for sale at 84 cents, starting at 84 cents. More James Brown and the New JBs, If You Don't Give a Doggone About It. And People Who Criticize, 1977 U.S. PRC, Funk Soul with a funk style, 65 half, 34 want. Median is $5.48 with 14 for sale starting at $2. And then we've got James Brown, Kissin' 77, Woman as well. 1975 U.S. Pittman, Jazz Funk Soul with a soul style, 97 half, 33 want. Median is $3, 18 for sale starting at $1.66. Remember, I paid 65 cents each for these. Another James Brown, Get Up Off That Thing, famous James Brown song, Release the Pressure. And 1976 U.S. PRC, Funk Soul with a funk style, 287 half, 149 want. Medians $4.50 with 18 for sale starting at 50 cents. And then we have a label torn off, Foster Silver's Misdemeanor, and So Close, the Silvers. This is on Pride, the Pride label. 1973 U.S. Mono Allied, Funk Soul with a funk style, 387 half, 479 want. Median is $8, 13 for sale starting at $2. And then we've got this Gospel Spirituals one on Custom Sound, My Life's in God's Hand, and Hold On to Everything You Have. This is undated U.S. press funk soul with a gospel style, 1 half, 9 want, no sales history, but someone is trying to sell this for $219.99. Anybody knows anything about this? why this person's trying to sell it for $220. That's a little interesting. And of all this funk soul stuff, why is this one gospel in there? Was it sampled? Is it referenced in some other song? What's the connection? I'd love to find out. More from the sound of Philadelphia, the Jones Girls, You Gonna Make Me Love Somebody Else, and Who Can I Run To? 1979 U.S. Pittman, funk soul with a soul funk disco style, 33 half, 51 watt, median is $4.99 with 5 for sale starting at $3.92. And then we're moving on to Nature's Divine, I Just Can't Control Myself. And then we've got Love Is You. And so it's a 1979 U.S. funk soul funk disco style, 228 half, 66 watt, median is $6.42, 82 copies for sale starting at $1.50. All right, next up, 1978 U.S. Terre Haute, Bobby Humphrey, Homemade Jam on Epic, Sunset Burgundy. And we've got Jazz Funk Soul with a Jazz Funk Disco style, 120 half, 51 watt, median is $4.75 with 23 for sale starting at $2.95. This is one of them that's in VG condition, a little bit rougher. This is Jay Hines and the Fellows, Camelot Time. This is on Deluxe. Victory Strut, 1973 U.S. funk soul with a funk style, 211 half, 214 watt, median is $3.37 with 12 for sale starting at $2.22. Maybe 10, fewer than 10 left to go. This is a promo copy of The Equations, 123 Hamilton Street, and same thing. This is labeled mono version on one side and a stereo version on the other side. Again, 74 U.S. promo, funk soul with a soul style, 29 half, 14 watt, median's $5.95 with 9 for sale starting at $4.11. This one is Funkadelic, One Nation Under a Groove, Part 1, and then One Nation Under a Groove, Part 2. 1978 U.S. Allied, funk soul with a P-Funk disco style, 634 half, 151 watt, median is $4.05 with 29 for sale starting at just $1. All right, coming up next, we've got James Brown, Bring It On, Bring It On the Churchill Augusta Records label, an older James Brown. And then The Nighttime is the Right Time. And we've got a 1983, so not an older one, a more modern one. Not sure if that's a budget label or what, but 1983 U.S. Pinckneyville, funk soul with a funk style, 24 half, 11 watt, median's 404, 9 for sale, starting at $4. All right, more James Brown coming up. We got James Brown, Ain't It Funky Now, Part 1 on King. Ain't It Funky Now, Part 2, 1969, U.S. Indianapolis, funk soul with a funk style, 1,177 half, 334 watt, median is $6, 57 for sale, starting at $1.19. Or James Brown, here we go, Sex Machine Part 1 and Sex Machine Part 2, 1975, U.S. PRC press funk soul with a funk style, 161 half, 101 watt, median $4.79, 5 copies for sale, starting at $2.25. And then we got Ain't It Good Enough, New Sound Express limited on silver dollar, and I've Been Trying. This is in G plus G condition, pretty rough. This is the 1970 U.S. silver foil with black print copy, funk soul with a funk soul style, 78 half, 131 watt, median value, $17.62 with 10 for sale starting at $8.88. Getting into the more valuable stuff here, folks. All right, then we've got the Blackbirds, Love Don't Strike Twice. This is on Fantasy and Don't Know What to Say. 1980 U.S. funk soul, 57 half, 119 watt. Median is $11.50 with only 4 copies for sale starting at $19.24. And then we've got, what do we got here? Jeannie Reynolds. The Phone's Been Jumping All Day. And Unwanted Company on Casablanca, 1975 U.S. funk soul, funk disco style, 246 half, 123 watt. Median is $11.86 with 62 copies for sale, starting at $1.80. Just a few more to go here. We have The Impressions, Sooner or Later, and Miracle Woman. You guys don't want me to sing. 1975 U.S. Terre Haute Funk Soul with the Soul Style. 32 half, 23 want. Median is $12.59 with 14 for sale, starting at $5. And again, the condition on these near mint on most of these. Here we got Funkadelic again. Not Just Knee Deep Part 1 and Not Just Knee Deep Part 2 on Warner. 1979 U.S. Specialty Pressing, Funk Soul with a P-Funk style. 660 half, 536 want. Median is $9.95 with 14 for sale, starting $2.50. And folks, here is the big one. The showstopper. The last one of all these 45s. We have Ace Spectrum, Don't Let Me Be Lonely Tonight on Atlantic with the original sleeve, originally for sale for 97 cents at Woolworths. And then Don't Send Nobody Else. Of course, it's numbered and it's torn there from the previous owner, but we have a 1974 U.S. Specialty Press Funk Soul with a soul style, 337 half, 440 want. Median is $42 with a high of 130. There are 20 for sale starting at $10. Now, near mint sales, and I don't know if this really counts as near mint. It needs to be cleaned, but it's in just beautiful condition on the vinyl. But you can see we've got tears on the label, which certainly affects value. But to be able to get a copy that's near mint as far as the vinyl goes is pretty special. But look at these near mint recent sales. We've got $102, $89, $89, $68, $102, $57, $130, and $87. And those are all within the last 2 years. So this one is the heavy hitter out of the bunch. And with having paid somewhere in the ballpark of like $60 to $70 for all these 45s, including the ones that I kept. I've already sold a few to the record shop. I think I did pretty well on these. So I've got a friend of mine here in Omaha who loves to collect funk and soul, so he's going to take a look at these and possibly buy them. Otherwise, these will likely go to the record shop and go from there. So, yeah, thanks for watching all of the 45s. Let's go back to the video. All right, thanks for checking out all of those 45s. I hope you saw some stuff in there that you thought was cool, interesting, whatever. Again, I paid 65 cents for each of those 45s, and many of them will either be going to the record shop or to local buyers that want them for their collection. Because I paid so little on those, I'm not going to try to get top dollar. I'll probably cut some deals on these, especially if there's some local collectors that really want them. But yeah, pretty good little record haul there at the thrift store. And at Kanesville Collectibles. Love going in there. Tim, if you're watching, thanks for always doing some good deals for me. I really appreciate it. You have helped me reconnect with physical media, especially records and cassettes, and even a few CDs. And I can't thank you enough for always being so kind when I come in and helping me, restore my collection by giving me some good deals on these records. It's been great getting to know you and everyone at the shop, and spending time there is always something I look forward to. So I appreciate it very, very much. All right, everyone, that's all I've got. I will see you in the next vinyl haul video.